Brothers and sisters, we're going to be planting today a victory garden. We are convinced that the price of food is going to soar. After all, the Federal Reserve has resorted to the printing press. It's created trillions of dollars out of thin air. It's lent this money to banks, insurance companies, and corporations. Fake money has created an enormous stock market bubble and a housing bubble. Ominously, interest rates are starting to rise. And this means deep trouble for an economy of over $80 trillion in debt. 1929 seems to be at the door. So we say to you, start your victory garden now. But we're well aware that in most of these United States, the ground is frozen, and if you step outside, you encounter freezing cold, hail, and snow. Yet it's possible, and we're going to show you just how to go about. We start with a flat just like this, and in such a flat, you fill it with potting soil. And then we start with, you fill with some potting soil. We've delineated the soil into little segments, and we're going to start. We're going to start planting. And we're going to plant today things such as lettuce, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. And you have so much support out there. So much support. We've gotten our seeds from the wonderful Seed Savers Exchange, and it's filled with heirloom, historic, and rare seeds, magnificent for a magnificent variety of vegetables. It's a privilege to work with these people. They have magnificent website. Please visit them. Another wonderful company that we couldn't recommend too highly is Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They also have magnificent website. They're wonderful people in the Midwest. Please visit their site. And a third company that we enjoyed very much is Johnny's Selected Seeds. They're in Maine and they do magnificent work. So here we go. We're going to be starting with lettuce, and we're going to start with a wonderful romaine lettuce called Winter Density. And with lettuce, you just sprinkle the seeds at the very, very top, and you don't cover the seeds. You don't cover lettuce seeds. The smaller the seed is, the less you cover it. And then we're going to start with Grandpa Admir's lettuce. And this is an old-time historic variety that I've gotten from the Seed Savers Exchange. So here is Grandpa Admir's heirloom lettuce, and that too we're going to just sprinkle right over the top. And then finally we're going to do a lettuce from Everwild Farm, another seed company in the Midwest, and they have the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen. I hope that you can make this out. And this is a prize leaf lettuce, prize head leaf lettuce. And we'll do a little of this right now, and we'll finish up the lettuce with a red deer tongue lettuce. Hope that you can see the image of the leaves, the arrow-shaped leaves, and we have this right here. This is an old Amish variety. Amish being magnificent farmers and gardeners. Okay. And then we're going to go on. We're going to go, what vegetable shall we do next? The pride and joy of every vegetable garden. We're going to be doing kale. And we're going to start with a blue curled Scotch kale. Scotch kale. And here we go. Kale, we all agree, is one of the healthiest vegetables you can grow. Imagine kale belongs in every green drink, in every green smoothie, but of course. And then we're going to do a red Ursa kale. This is another rare and old-time variety. So red Ursa kale. We'll do this. Let's put it down. Red Ursa kale. And then we're going to complete our kale planting with a green peace kale. Can you make out that gorgeous image? Look at the serrated leaves. Look at the magnificent coloring of that kale. Green peace kale. Here we go. Okay. Then another plant, a must for early spring, is mustard. Here's an heirloom yellow mustard going way, way back in American history. It's called a freezer family heirloom mustard. Mustard also from the Seed Savers Exchange. So we're going to do a bit of mustard. Okay. And then we're going to do, but of course, spinach. Every springtime garden must have spinach. So we're going to do, but of course, America spinach from Seed Savers. Can you make out that image? So here's America spinach. And then let's complete the spinach with a classic, and this is Bloomsdale, classic American spinach. Every garden has got to have it. Imagine the meaty, robust leaves in a green drink. So here we go. And why not do cilantro? Magnificent vegetable, very similar to parsley in a way. It's a Mexican herb. Cilantro, you'll find it in every farmer's market. And finally, let's wind up right now. Let's finish off right now with an endive. Endive, think of endive as a hardy, robust lettuce. I rejoice in vigorous vegetables, so suited to our cool, temperate climate here in Northern California. So good. So that's our planting, our winter garden for now. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this. I'm going to bring the flat home. I'm going to water the flat. And then I'm going to enclose the flat in a large plastic. And I'm going to put the flat in my house, in a south-facing window. Or at least in a place, or even in my kitchen, in a place where it's warm. I'm going to take the plastic, take it out of its plastic bag every day, every morning. I'm going to water it. I'm going to put it back in the plastic bag. And then within 3, 4, or 5 days, it's going to germinate. As soon as the seeds germinate, please please expose them in direct sun, in your south-facing window, in your cold frame, or in your greenhouse. But they must get, as soon as they're up, as soon as the seeds come up, they must get direct sunlight. That's very, very important to harden them off so they don't go limp, and so they don't go limp, so they become hard, strong, and vigorous. And the question comes up, why am I doing this planting? I'm planting because of the 80,000 deaths here in America due to drug abuse in the past year or so. I'm planting because 42% of American adults are obese, and another 30% are overweight. I'm planting because 60% of the food we eat is ultra-processed. Even now, people are gorging themselves with pizza, chicken nuggets, and fries. I plant in the certainty that we Americans have never set ourselves a problem that we cannot solve. So when the plants come up, after they harden off and are a convenient size to work with, transplant the starts to other flats. Spread them out, maybe an inch or two apart. So from this flat, you will get 4 or 5 flats of vegetables, an enormous quantity. The whole winter garden is concentrated, the whole springtime garden is concentrated right here in this single flat. So from this flat, you'll spread them out, transplant them, 4 or 5 more flats filled with potting soil. You'll transplant them. As soon as they've been transplanted, you're going to water them. You're going to cover the flat for maybe 3 days or so, because when a plant is transplanted, you don't want it to go into shock. You'll water it every day, but you'll keep it dark. You'll keep it covered. And after that, you put it in full sun in your south-facing window, your cold frame, or your greenhouse. So when you have the starts, which will be ready by the beginning of springtime, share them with friends and neighbors. Use them as the beginning of an edible schoolyard. Use them in creating a community garden. Get together with friends and neighbors They will help. We will help one another get through this right now. Right now, in the midst of the drear, the dark, and the cold, start your victory garden for renewal, for regeneration, and for redemption. Let's go forward, brothers and sisters. You have our best wishes for good health, prosperity, and success.